ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದೇನೋ. ಅಪ್ರೂವ್ ಯಾಕೆ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಪ್ರೂವಲ್ ಅಂತ.
A very good, af- a very good afternoon to one and all. A very good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of KLE Societies, yes, Nijappa College, principal, staff, Department of PG Studies in Commerce and Research Center, I would like to welcome you all to this national level webinar on innovations and intellectual property rights. Please note, use headphones for better audio. If you have any disconnectivity problem, please rejoin with the same link. I, Yashaswini, first year MCOM student of KLE Society's ES Nijappa College, Department of PG Studies in Commerce and Research. It's my pleasure to welcome you all once again to today's informative webinar on innovation and intellectual property rights. I would like to welcome the resource person for today's webinar, Srimati Sowmya D N. My cordial welcome to Srimati Sowmya D N. It's proud to have you in the webinar, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My cordial welcome to our respected principal, Dr. Arun Kumar B. Panavar. It's proud to have you in the webinar, sir. I would like to welcome our IQAC and MCOM coordinator, Dr. Srimati Mahananda Pachitawadi ma'am. I welcome you, ma'am. I would like to welcome Dr. C.V. Kopat sir, HOD, Department of Commerce, and all the faculty members. My cheerful welcome to all the delegates present in today's webinar. Once again, a very welcome to one and all.
Yashaswini, your voice is breaking.
Now I would like to brief about our KLE Society. The KLE Society, the largest educational organization in South Asia, established in 1916 by 7 dedicated and selfless teachers, Saptarishis. It has been transformed into a veritable movement in providing quality education over 100 years. The legacy of the society and its values are being led by our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Prabhakar B. Kore, since 1980. The Kaylee family now encompasses over 16,000 staff serving in 282 institutions, catering to the needs of more than 1.25 lakh students. The Kaylee Society has one of the rarest distinctions of being conferred with two deemed university status, one in medical education and the other in technical education. This is about our Kaylee Society. About our college, yes, Nasripapa College is one of the premier higher educational institutions managed by the Kaylee Society since its inception in 1963. The college carved a niche for its quality education. The college is re-accredited at A plus level by NAC, third cycle, with a CGPA of 3.53 on a 4.0 scale. Recognized as College with Potential for Excellence Phase 2 and awarded with UGC Stride Component 1. The college sprawls over 4.92 acres in the heart of the city with a state-of-the-art infrastructure. It offers a wide variety of programs at undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctorate levels, the judicious focus on traditional and professional domains. This is about our college. About the Department of Commerce, set up in 1971, has the legitimate claim and pride of being the premier department with research center status recognized by affiliating university. In its history, spanning 5 decades, it has produced doctorates, university ranks, excellent academicians, researchers, and entrepreneurs. It offers BCom, MCom, and PhD programs affiliated to Bengaluru City University, Bengaluru, along with value-added certificate courses. It is well equipped with e-classrooms, computer labs, business lab, and development library, with more than 50 national and international journals. Now, I would like to brief you about the webinar. Innovation is the process by which a domain, a product, or a service is renewed and brought up to date by applying new processes, introducing new techniques, or establishing successful ideas to create new value. Intellectual property rights are legal rights that provide creators protection for original works. Inventions are the appearance of the products, artistic works, scientific developments, and so on. Types of intellectual property rights include patents, trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets. According to Bloomberg's report, India's innovation index for the year 2021 is 50, moved up 4 places compared to last year. India has been 40th out of 53 countries on a global intellectual property index as per report published by the Global Innovation Policy Center of the US Chamber of Commerce in 2020. This time, South Korea has reached first position beating Germany. The above statistic shows the need for strengthening our innovation capacity and to claim more number of intellectual property rights. The today's speakers will focus on these issues. Here is a brief profile of today's speaker, Sowmya D N, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, Seshadripuram Academy for Business Studies, Kengeri, Lifetime. Has work experience in both academic as well as industry. Has passion for soft skills, personality development, organization behavior, HRM, philosophy, Indian ethos, leadership, and culture. She is pursuing PhD at Tumkur University, authored 5 textbooks along with HR Appandiya for Bangalore University and Mysore University in Commerce and Management subjects. Presented papers in international and national conferences. Published 15 papers in various UGC care list, international and national journals. Got appreciation letter from Sri Narendra Modi ji for research work pertaining to Atal Innovation Mission. Invited by various colleges as a resource person on the topic intellectual property rights, Indian ethos, leadership, national integrity, ethics, value initiatives, entrepreneurship, etc. Completed Carnatic Vocal Junior and currently pursuing Senior Vocal. Performed in Zilla Kannada Sahitya Sammelana and other prestigious stages. This is a brief introduction of today's resource person. Now, I request our resource person to deliver a lecture on innovation and intellectual property rights. Now, over to you, Sowmya ma'am.
Thank you, Yashaswini. Thank you so much. Hope I'm audible. Okay. Very good afternoon to one and all present here. Respected Principal Dr. Arun Kumar Sir, IQAC Coordinator and MCOM Coordinator Srimati Mahananda Madam and Kopit Sir. Really, it's a wonderful event for me and a great opportunity for me to present or to share my knowledge on the prestigious college, KLE College. I just want to remember way back to 2008 and 9, I got a first best paper award in KLE College only, my first paper on personal financial management. So I presented my paper in KLE College, Rajajinagar only. So on that occasion, I received the best paper award. So I just cherishing those moments. And even I have worked with Mahananda Madam for BBM Vivo Voice also. Of course, obviously, it's a wonderful moment to associate with KLE College. And I thank KLE College and the team and the entire college for giving me opportunity to share my knowledge. Today's webinar topic is innovation and intellectual property rights. Hope all are aware of intellectual, hope I consider innovation and intellectual property rights. We have some idea about innovation and intellectual property rights, why it is important. Obviously, apart from the syllabus, what we know about that, this session is going to have interaction, and this session is going to brief about what is innovation and what is intellectual property rights. Okay, just a second, I'll share my screen. Hope the screen is visible, right? PPT is visible? Okay. Okay. I welcome all the participants for national level webinar on innovation and intellectual property rights. So, before going to topic, let's see what is innovation. Because when we discuss about the innovation, when we are writing about the innovation, we'll take a author from foreign university or any Indian university. What is their definition about the innovation? But according to Swami Vivekananda, what is innovation? Because he is a pioneer of modern India, we consider his thoughts will lead to a Vishwaguru Bharata. So what innovation? Of course, the words of Swami Vivekananda is very apt in nowadays also, especially if we talk about the innovation. Take up one idea, make that idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success. So you can see the successful story of any entrepreneur. The same thoughts, the same words will repeat and repeat and repeat. So this is called it as an innovation as per Swami Vivekananda. I consider the thoughts of Swami Vivekananda as the roots of India, because Indians are meant for innovation. Of course, we didn't study much about the Indian innovation, but now the time is still time is there to know about the real innovation made by Indians, real invention made by Indians. Of course, obviously, innovation is a process which a domain, a product, or a service is renewed and brought up to date by applying a new process. See, there is a thin hairline difference between the innovation and the invention. Invention means the first stage, for the first time you are going to produce, you are going to manufacture, you are going to use a product or a services. For example, electricity, that is, of course, it's an invention. Electric bulb, of course, it's an invention. But now we are in the LED stage. Telephone, of course, it's an invention. Now we move on to an 5G. Of course, coming days we'll reach to 10G also, no doubt about it. That is an innovation. That's why applying a new process, introducing a new technique. So we never thought in the tip of our hand, in the tip of our finger, we are able to see the whole world. We are going to communicate to the whole world in a matter of seconds. We never thought that one. But now the innovation make very easy to communicate, very easy. It make very easy of life and living thing. Our establishing successful idea to create a new value, establishing successful idea to create a new value. Of course, you have to give a value addition. Of course, every college students are bound with value addition program. Why we require a value addition program? Of course, some sort of skills we have to acquire. We have to match the corporate expectancy. That's why industry and academia interface, it's a mandatory. And of course, national education policy also focus towards the industry and academia education. Mapping the definition of innovation, how we are going to see, you can see the last slide. You can recall the last slide, what Swami Vivekananda told. And now you can map with those words. Definition of innovation, of course, obviously, creativity should be there. Invention, of course, you already what is that invented. Innovation means you have to make some kind of a valuable modification in the process, in the product, or whichever may be the business aspect. Applied invention, you have to practice that one. Business model, obviously, of course, everybody will start the tea stalls. I think you have heard about Annadurai, Ottoman of India. He will call it as an Ottoman of India, Ottoman of Tamil Nadu. See, that is innovation. Everybody drives the auto, no doubt about it. Everybody will have a auto, will go with the auto, will take the auto, everything is over. But what is the innovating things he done in his auto? business model. Unmet user needs, of course, the taste and preference of the consumers as well as the customers is keep on changing. We need any before what is that after landline and all, when the mobile phones are booming, so we require a mobile phone, and everybody rush on mobile phone and the keypad. Okay, everything is okay. Now we want a touch screen, and later days we need to work with our mobile in the robotic way. Of course, problem solving for everything. The innovation, the main intention of the innovation means how you are going to solve the modern problems with the modern techniques. So this is the definition of innovation. Of course, the three pillars, or we can talk about the characteristics, we can talk about the functions of the innovation. It's a bound with the creativity, inputs, development, economy, all external and the internal factor which is associated with the innovation. Whereas the three pillars, one is strategy and the management. See, management, of course, everybody knows that getting things done through others. But just a second. But according to me, management means managing the things. When you have a lack of resources, how you are going to manage the things? That is effective management. And the strategy. See, planning means not only for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year. You have to make the strategy how you are going to tackle the modern problems, how you are going to tackle the modern what is that conflict with the innovative idea. Of course, competency, you everything every see, if we post any of our photo on the Facebook or any social media, what will first the thing we are going to focus? Competency, how much like I got. See, same photo, we are in the competency, and if think about the innovation, think about the business, because ever changing, dynamic things will happen in the business. So they have to be focused on innovation. One is the competency, strategy, and the management. Of course, types of innovation, there are so many types of innovations are there. So where in this session, I'll focus on sustaining innovation and disruptive innovation. This COVID pandemic, COVID-19 showed that what is disruptive innovation. As a teaching fraternity or a stakeholders of educational sector, we never thought that what is online teaching. Of course, we have a few idea, but we made a lot of innovation, right, to reach our student, or even students also made a lot of circles to reach the faculty in the online platform. Disruptive innovation, mask, of course, disruptive. See, you can see that N95 only the mask, but now color is there, designs is there, texture is there. Disruptive innovation. Sustaining innovation, whatever you do, you always want to get a better at it. Like Canon cameras, obviously, camera. We have in the mobile phones, you can use. Strength of your frequency and all such thing, technical aspect means sustaining innovation. I have now nobody are using a DG camera because our phone is the best thing. It is one of the importance and one of the advantages of using phone, not only to talk with someone else, to capture the moment. Sustaining innovation, disruptive innovation, obviously disruptive innovation, as I told you, blessings in disguises. This particular pandemic, of course, few of them lost their life, of course, but we innovated a lot of things, right? Work from home concept. We thought that only Western country or a developed country can do all such things. But now in India, especially if you go, any employees who are from a TCS, they will come to know they TCS and other top-notch companies has given lifelong work from home option. Innovation, we can reduce the cost. Disruptive innovation. Uh, Next is where does the innovation come from? Obviously, why we have to innovate? Why Apple stage one now Apple 5 or Apple 6? I'm not tech savvy pertaining to Apple product. See why? Even though Apple phone year on year they're changing their modules or they're changing, they have come up in a lot of modification and upgradation. You can take an automotive and automobiles innovation. Why we need innovation? From where we are getting the innovation? Of course, creative ideas and innovative approach can come from anywhere. So we can link to our Upanishad. All the noble thoughts will come for any, and I am going to accept. In the same way, innovation is like that. Your clients, obviously our clients are going to expect, as a student, as a faculty, so we will work as per the requirement of the student, as per the requirement of the faculty member. So our clients see in the business what the customer require. If we go and if we shop any shirt or a sari or something else, see what kind of expectation we have. We'll talk about the color, we'll talk about the design, we'll talk about the texture, we'll talk about in anything and everything. So our client, customers, obviously customer or in a client, two faces of the same coin. Customers, obviously the customer is a person who will teach the businessman what is the cost of production and who will teach how to fix the price. Maybe he don't have any kind of an academic skills or an academic degree or the certificate, but he will teach target groups to whom I'm focusing. Take a pen, take a one Reynolds pen, to whom I'm focusing. So all such things will lead to innovation. And employees, obviously, employees inclusion in the company, employees inclusion in the organization, employees inclusion in the management, so which will create a lot of opportunity for the innovation. Because if you recruit IITians or any other IIM students or whoever it may be, so they are telling that the processes belong to me, I have to come up in a new kind of a strategy. So employees, marketing expert who can bring a fresh and perspective ideas. Obviously marketing expert, marketing agent, marketing surveyor, so those are going to give in a live what is that report, what market is expecting. So that's why a successful entrepreneurship requires to focus on creativity and integration. If you have a creativity, no, you can't say that, or you can't declare that you are a successful. Of course there should be an integration of innovation and a strategic business planning. Pakka perfect planning should be there. Effective implementation of your planning, how you are going to strategize your work, that those things will also lead to an innovation. I think Yashaswini has given a brief introduction about the innovation and all such things. So here are the few points. Hope participants are following my slides because I keep on explaining. Am I audible? Okay. India and innovation. Obviously, I have told that India is the birth of every invention and innovation. Personally, I consider because what and all our practices are there. Now, in the World Intellectual Property Right Organization, our practices, some other country are claiming a patent. So I'll come to the next slide. So, India and innovation, obviously, according to Global Innovation Index, India is in the 48th position. I feel that if the pandemic has not strike too much in India, then definitely we would be in the below 35 place only. So obviously, but we can't do anything for these kind of what is that, world disasters and all. So we are in the 48th position, and India ranks the highest among Central and South Asian countries, and a new entrant to the top 3 innovation economies. Of course, Vietnam and Ukraine, South Korea, China, of course, they are doing a better. But if you come for the sustainability matters, all the people around the world are trusting India because India has a lot of potential. India spends around 0.7% of its GDP on research and development, of course, which is much lower than the top spenders like Israel. See, Israel, 4.9, South Korea, Sweden, Japan, they are into an innovation. If we are going in depth about the innovation and India, we'll come to know why in India we have more than 130 crores population is there. In that we are giving education. Why we are very back in innovation means the academia and industry innovation. See, as a faculty member, as a student, don't you feel that why we always focus on large scale industry or multinational company when we are talking about industrial visit? Why will not go for MSMEs? See, in the foreign university, if you take any foreign university as an example, they have to do the internship even in MSME too. But in India, if we do the internship in MSME, people will think in some other graduates or being in students of any other department. So you can feel that, right? Even as a faculty member, if I assign any project work to my student, I always prefer why you will go for only multinational company? Why you will run behind? You have n number of MSME, right? Pina Industrial Area, Pina Industrial Association is considered as in the largest MSME sector. It has in a very good space in Asia MSME. In Asia, it has a separate place. So why will not go? See, if you take in Israel, South Korea, Sweden, Japan, of course, they are developed country and economically. South Korea, do you think that they have a potential like India? No, so we have to think that one. We have to work on that one. India has much lower share research per million inhabitants compared to Denmark and South Korea, and the gross expenditure on R&D has consistently rising. Of course, the new initiative of a government that, especially from Make in India to till Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is focusing towards innovation, research and development. Without research and development, so you can't sustain survival for fitness or fitness for survival, whatever it may be. You can jumble the words, but innovation, research and development should be a mandatory. If you go with the innovation and the IPR in our life, what are all the products we are going to use in day-to-day life? That is innovative one. But the thing is, we'll forgot that whether that particular product has a IP status or what. I consider in every home, you will light the lamp. You will light the lamp. People who are using, we call it as an Amritam oil, you can easily identify in the backside of the wrapper. They have a patent. They have a trademark as well as a copyright, which is going to be manufactured, produced in near Chamarajpete, Bangalore only. If we take Bhagyashree Poha, of course, Poha day-to-day life we are using. That particular product has a what is that intellectual property right status. If any person who is using Himalaya anti-wrinkle cream, especially below eye, so if you take that particular product, that product has Indian as well as US patent. Are we identifying that one? Of course, we are using a lot of innovative product. No doubt about it. We run behind the innovation, and we wish to use the innovative product and the latest technology and the top-notch brands to analyze or to identify which are all the intellectual property rights product. The first one is, as per IP52 organization, they have clearly given the 6 reasons why we need intellectual property rights. Uh, can I have any answers from the what is that audience side? Why we required intellectual property rights? Can I have any answer, or let it be an interaction session? Why we require the intellectual property rights?
To protect our ideas and innovations.
To protect our ideas and innovation. Next. So you have to open up. It should not be a typical lecture session. Let's have an interactive session. Why we require, and why you will feel that we need to have in IP status. As Madam said, of course, we have to protect our creativity, we have to protect our intelligence, we have to protect our work, what we have done. Don't you think that we'll get a lot of pride if we have intellectual property rights? I'll tell one case study or one story, successful story of Areca tea. Yes, Srinidhi.
Yes. Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, madam, actually, your session is going very well. You are giving wonderful thoughts and insights into intellectual property rights. According to my perception, we need intellectual property rights, and as one of the madam told that it is required to protect ideas. Meanwhile, by protecting ideas, we can encourage others to protect ideas and to develop ideas in a competent way. So protecting idea is one dimension of intellectual property right, and at the same time, it is the necessity of inventing more and more ideas. So it leads to the competitive mindset of the people or the inventor. So for that purpose, also, I think it's required.
Thank you. Thank you, Srinidhi. Of course, we need to protect our idea. We need to protect our work. We need to protect. So, all such things is correct. At the same time, it will enhance our pride, national pride. India, you see, South Koreans, what is their pride means? Of course, we have a highest IPs. China, they have a highest IPs. US. Of course, as Indians, don't we feel that we should also have a lot of intellectual property rights, because we are the base for every invention and the innovation. You can see that if any innovation, any invention happen around the world, the first and the foremost things they will focus on Indian market. If we have that potential, why can't we produce lot of intellectual property right with our ample resources? That is a question, and we have to work on that particular question. So IP makes innovation possible, and IP ensure quality. Of course, obviously, we need to have a qualitative product than a quantitative product. One, quality, standard of our living, improves our daily life. Of course, obviously, it will enhance our standard of living, improves our what is that daily life. For example, if we take coffee maker is an innovation. Filter coffee, in Kannada we have a batte coffee anta kariತೀವಿ. So we used to prepare a coffee through cloths, but later filter coffee came, and now we have coffee maker. So it will make very easy. The process is very easy. Chopper, vegetable chopper, n number of varieties, n number of innovation is there. Wet grinder, hope everybody knows the wet grinder. Coimbatore wet grinder is very, very famous. They have IP. Coimbatore in India, the highest, of course, IP and all given for MSMEs too. Whereas Tamil Nadu MSMEs are tremendously on working on innovation, and IP helps the farmers to grow. Of course, recently I was working on the project innovation and intellectual property rights on agriculture sector. When I was going through the literature of review, when interacting with a few of the farmers, they are expecting a neem coated urea. Neem coated urea, that's an innovation in pesticide and insecticide pesticide pertaining to the farmer, and the machinery what we are using in the farming, all such thing. And IP, of course, IP entertainers, obviously music, iPod we have, Siri we have, Alexa we have, that and all come under the innovation and intellectual property rights. And IP is for day-to-day life, and IP is for sustainable development. And what exactly mean by intellectual property right? Of course, creation of human mind, knowledge asset created to manifestation of idea. Of course, Swami Vivekananda told education should be in the manifestation. So see the words manifestation of an idea conferred on creators of an exclusive statutory rights for intangible knowledge of such tradable commodity. Can we have to think, of course, for creativity, for my hard work, for my product, for my services, of course I got a patent, but what next? Can I make a commercialization of IP? You have to think of that. IP enforcement law, of course, every textbook will bound with in introduction, I think Yashaswini told types of IP. We have a copyrights, trademark, trade secret, patent. We'll only talk about this four, but what about others? As a basically as a student, especially focus on a commerce, science, even an art student, we have to open up with the intellectual property rights. IP enforceable by law. IP, of course, it's play a very important role. So if anybody are dealing with an balance sheet, you can take the balance sheet of developed country balance sheet and developing country. You can compare with India and US, India and Japan, India and South Korea and all such things. So we'll focus only on fixed assets. They will focus on intangible assets. And IPR, a new wealth of a nation. And what is the main objective of a IPR? To promote as a deliberate act of government policy, creativity, and the dissemination of application of results to encourage fair trading, which would contribute to economic and social development. Of course, social development, economic development, socio-political development, the holistic development of a country. I feel that it's depend on intellectual property rights, because intellectual property rights mean it not only for the innovation and the invention, it will enhance your quality, it will focus on your TQM, it will focus on every bit of the business, it will move to loops and corners of the business to give statutory expression to moral and economic rights creator and their creation and such rights of a public in access to those creation. Of course, commercialization of IP. What are IPs? Of course, they are in dynamic in nature, term property, and unique characteristics should be there. So you can't claim I have made this one innovation. I think when we talk about the copyrights, I'll give in a few of the literatures as an example of intellectual property, how India is glorified in the ancient Indian times, and how we have to be respect our scripture, and how we have to carry the pride of Indian literature. Conceptions of IP not uniform over a time. Obviously, IP, it is not a uniform. The rules, the regulation, the legal obligation will keep on changing, and individual versus public interest. So you can take the IP in this regard also. Protection of application of ideas and information that are commercial value. Obviously, protection of your idea that will lead to a commercial value. Yes, you have to think. Branch of law that protect a finer manifestation of human achievement. Creation may or may not become IP. Creation. You have a n number of colors in what is that, nature. You can't claim that I have found this or I have made by combining a pink color and yellow color, it will turn into a rose color. So like that. So you can't claim that yes, I want to get a trade design status. No. And next one, justifications or IP. Why we have to get the IP. IP results in idealistic and utilitarian perception. Of course, IPR will focus, if you are product, if you are a service, if you are a work which focus on intellectual property rights, mean, of course, you are aiming at a perfection. We need, right? We don't want to live in a monopoly competition, monopolistic competition, oligopoly or duopoly. Of course, we are living, but we expect a perfect competition. How the perfect competition will arise not only by n number of producers or n number of sellers or n number of buyers, the quality of the product, the perfection in the product, which leads to any perfect competition or in a perfect market. IP results in the idealistic utilitarian perception, means utilitarian is nothing but what is the outcome of your R&D. And aesthetic and cultural value, it will respect. That's why I told you why we require the IP. Of course, we have to enhance and enrich our economic condition, no doubt about it. But apart from that, don't you have any pride that India is a lot of innovation? See, Bangalore is considered as a startup hub. Bangalore is considered as a Silicon City, IT sector, Garden City. At the same time, recent feather to Bangalore cap is Bangalore is considered as a aviation capital city of India. Around 2000, more than 2000, 1500 MSMEs who are working for national defense. They are working on aeronautical engineering sector. See, and at the same, don't you have a pride of Mysuru? Mysore is the highest, what is that, a district which have a geographical indication tag. They have more than 15 to 18 geographical indication tags. That cultural value, that kind of a pride, you have to uphold that one. Incentives to produce economic expansion and consumer choice. Obviously, in front of you, the product which I have manufactured, I will keep it in front of you. The product which is already recognized, I will keep it in front of you. Which one you are going to choose? Obviously, the recognized product. The recognized product is also bound with an innovation, but they may not aware of intellectual property rights. And unjust enrichment, reaping without sowing, proprietary rights with all consequential relief, antitrust laws in developed countries. Obviously, now we are facing a patent issue pertaining to vaccination right. Because I'm a student of intellectual property, I'm doing my research on that. I have in IPR. Then when I go to the, I have read a few scriptures and all the things I come to know. So India is focused on well-being of society. That's why Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Any product which is, any services or anything which is useful to a man means it is not only a citizen of India. That product or services not only used by Indians but also the whole world. So that kind of a contentment, that kind of a concept we Indians have. So sometimes we have to modify it with the commercial aspect. Challenges to IP, of course, constantly destabilized by technological advancement. Technological, you can't take a right intellectual property or you can't go with the patent right of digital camera. Now moving camera, iPhone is enough to shoot a 3 hours movie. Political challenges to intellectual property rights, of course, political challenges, whether that is an international level, local level, or whichever authority. I have a few questions to the participants, or I have my opinion. How many of our Gram Panchayati, Taluk Panchayati, or MLAs, or whoever in the political area, are they aware of intellectual property rights? If I want to if I request, you want to uphold, you have to encourage the intellectual property rights product. If they have awareness, if they have knowledge as a political or a bureaucratic people, then it will be very easy. We can avoid the challenges. And of course, developing country protectionist policies about in the developing country, antitrust laws in developed country. So economic approaches to IP protection, economic way, in the economical perspective, why we required IP and in what way IP deals. Of course, property rights, you will get monopolistic behavior. Of course, we don't want to live in a monopoly competition, but if you get IP status, you will be monopoly. So you are the core, what is that, producer of a particular product. IP of Apple company. Apple owns a IP, intellectual property rights of phone or in a touch screen or whatever the technology used. So I think we heard about the case law between the Apple phone and the Samsung. Samsung agreed that they have copied Copyright Act. In the Copyright Act, I think 20 million or billion fine has paid from the Samsung to the Apple phone. So, and those are all the case which will emerge and urge to know about the intellectual property rights. Perception against monopoly, IPR and monopoly, existence of substitute and the alternative. If I don't want Apple, what next? I should have the same feature of Apple, but for me, Apple is not friendly. Then what I have to do? I will not go with the Coca-Cola. Then which one I have to go? So those kind of things will matter a lot. Monopoly power, difficult to determine. Technical advances, fashion, of course, technical advancement, fashion, the trend, the repeated advertisement. So it will focus on IP protection, limited monopoly. And nature of IP, peculiar in future, because sorry for interruption. The one thing is, if we want to talk about innovation and IP, I think we need a lot of time. The technicalities, what is there in IP, so it will take a lot of time to understand and to make you understand. That's why I'll go by bit. Nature of IP, peculiar feature along with common characteristics, territoriality, exclusive right, assignability, independence, subject to public policy, divisible, negative right. IP nature is of course peculiar. We want to be a different. Compared to others, I want to be stand in the different way. So which makes you different? Either a product, either a service, whether you have exclusive right. See, your handwriting, don't you think that your handwriting is your intellectual property rights? Your signature will come under intellectual property rights. So all such thing, we'll call it as intellectual property rights. And implication of negative, of course, infringement. You can go for court, you can sue a case. I just want to tell one case study. Obviously, everybody heard about Manik Chand Pan Masala. Now they are call it as an RDH or RMH Pan Masala. There was a fight between Manik Chand and Mani Chand. Of course, Manik Chand, then very well-known name, but they failed to protect their intellectual property rights. But Manik Chand, a person who was working as a layman, or the person who was working in any of the organization, he started that manufacturing concern of Mani Chand, same pan masala only. Then same kind of a trademark, not trademark exactly, the packaging and all such things compared to Manikchand also similar kind of a marketing strategy, branding strategy, packaging strategy, everything was the same. So then Manikchand people thought, why we are facing a loss, why our sales come down? They given a what is that option to do the survey. Then the survey reports told that the competitor is there. Their name is called it as a Manikchand. So Manikchand, they sue a case on Manikchand sue a case on Manikchand on the court. You're not supposed to use our what is it, packaging strategy, marketing strategy, and all such thing, especially the color combination and all. But Manikchand failed in the court that they don't have intellectual property rights. They have not protected their property, their goods. But at the time of starting of Manichand company, they registered their trademark, they registered their copyright, they're bound with the intellectual property protection. So this is a one of the major case study, even though in a small product industries also focus and open up for intellectual property rights. Why we have to protect our intellectual property rights? So implication of negative rights, for that I have told you. What type of subject matter? protection only on application, protection how long, how many years, right? Only against the imitators or full monopoly. Either you are imitating or you are acquiring the product, acquiring the market. And of course, specialized rules and regulations are there. Statutes, statutory laws, obviously, I think you have learned in your syllabus. Copyright Act, Patent Act, Design, Trademark, Geographical Indication, Semiconductor, Protection of Plant Varieties. India and IPR evolution. As per books, this is there as per the document, but I feel that India has IPR evaluation way back from first century. I will consider that one, because everything is innovated, the wheel which is innovated, but we have not documented what is that in the prescribed form. So that is a documentation is one of the constraints for Indians. That's why our NAC, if we talk about the education institution, our NAC will focus on documentation. How you are going to document? I think in industry we have a strict rules and regulation to document the process. The same thing will become for the business also. Business should not only think of preparing a financial statement. No, they have to document it each and every process. So when start from first century, if we have documented all the property or all our innovation, then India would be in the first position in the global index number. So let's have modern India. What will think? Feeling that Indian Patent and Design Act in 1911 was not fulfilling the objective of Government of India, and Bakshi Tekchand, retired judge, he reviewed the patent law in 1953. We have made a lot of changes. However, but 1911 will consider as an evolution of IPR and development of IPR in India. And the types of intellectual property rights. So you can question yourself, till today, how many types I know, but actually what types of how many types of intellectual property rights are there? We have patent, copyright, trademark, geographical indication, designs, life science, semiconductor, trade secret, KFC, Coca-Cola. They have intellectual property rights not only with their copyrights or in a design or in a structure or a color, the recipe, the ingredients, what they are going to use for the product, for the food, that is called it as a trade secret. And the traditional knowledge, I think India is a, not I think, I feel we are blessed to have with traditional knowledge. We have an enormous traditional knowledge system in India. And of course, and keep on talking about IP ecosystem, IP commercialization. You will get an idea. You are going to develop that idea with the effective strategy, and in what way you are going to protect that one. And you have to be commercialized. How you are coining your IP in the market. Because I'm doing a survey of all MSMEs and large scale industry. Of course, they have intellectual property rights status, but they fail to coin their IP status in the market to grab the market. So, and IP enforcement. And what do you know? What you don't know about the patent? So, what are all the things? If we take a bulb, if we take in a small pin, so a lot of innovations will be there. Till how much have okay. What is patent? A legal protection which gives an inventor right to exclude others from performing certain activity in the country of issuance. So what is patent means? Your creativity, your invention, and the first user or the first producer of a product or a services. Why patent and invention? Because of course, invention directly will go for the patent. At the same time, how come? Because as a commerce and management students, always I had a question. Why patent only belongs to invention? What about our commerce and management students? What we have to do? Then I thought, then I had done the lot of review of literature and I have met a few of the entrepreneurs. Even the process, if you make the process easy, then you can go with the patent right also. Copyrights and patent, say either you may treat this is a Coca-Cola, Pepsi or whatever it may be. Copyrights serve the author. Copyright means your writings, your dance steps, your creativity in the entertainment field, everything will lead to any copyright also. For example, Michael Jackson moonwalking style, that is a copyright. And scripture, as I told you, our vachanas, our Vedas, everything is bound with the copyright. See, Purandara Dasa, Purandara Vithala, Kudala Sangama Deva, Channa Mallikarjuna. So those kind of a things is a copyright. That is a copyright. Mentioning a Kavyanama. In Kannada, we call it as a Kavyanama. So serves the authors, protect creative works, obviously. So if you being a very poetic, you have written anything, so you can upload it in your Facebook. Someone will take your words and he will mention your name. So you can't see a case on him because he already mentioned his name, but you fail to mention your name at the footnote of your work. So that's why you have to aware, even though if you are published in your page only, but you have not given who has written that one. You can take any textbook or any newspaper or whatever it may be. In the last, you will have C, copyright 2021 by taken by this and this. Apply on a photography, of course, photography. My student is he's a wildlife photographer. For every photo at the end you will get a what is a Thomas photography. Now you have in a Redmi and Oppo, I think higher version phone, it will shows your name also, because the creativity what you have done through that particular product serves a time frame of 70 to 170 years copyrights. But the eternal values which is given by our vachanakaras, which is given by our saints and all, it is eternal. When we commercialize also, it is eternal. Patent serves inventors, grant exclusive right on exploit and invention, applies on technologies and medical devices, serve a time span. Patent will only for 15 to 20 years, but now the time span is come down because the rapid and the dynamic innovation in the technology and technological advancement. So it will always push up you to do the lot of innovation. See, if you take this product, the particular cap will go for a patent. Trademark means either you can write Coca-Cola, either you can write Pepsi or whatever, XYZ juice. Trade dress, design, so the bottle structure, copyright, and the taste secret ingredient. That's why I told you, you will have a n number of trademarks. So without knowing the company, you are going to identify, without going the, what is that, A and Z or A and B of the company, you will identify the product. So this one particular, everybody knows that one. So that's why a trademark or a trademark is a distinctive sign or a indicator. See, Keli College logo, Seshadripuram College logo, Bangalore University logo, Bitsbilan University logo. So all such logos will also come under the trademark. So, but whereas a non-profit organization, we can't consider that is a trademark. But any profitable organization or in a trading or what is that business or organization, they can treat that is in a trademark. They have to register. Bata company, even though I don't know anything about the Bata, if I see the logo, I'll identify. Airtel, Jio, see, they will know, and Canara Bank, all the banks, State Bank of India. See, even though if I go to Gujarat, I don't know Gujarati language, but by seeing that logo, I will identify that is a bank, that is a SBI bank only. That is a trademark. You have to protect that one. Of course, pertaining to trademark, there is a one case study that is between ITC Limited and Nestle India Limited. Everybody are well known about the Maggie. If I ask, you know how to cook, what you will cook means, ma'am, I know how to cook Maggie. So in Maggie, for Maggie, there is a lot of confliction and lot of cases which is bound for Maggie. So recently in the Madras High Court, in a suit passing off, rejected ITC Limited claim over using trademark Magic Masala. We have n number of masala in that. Maggie used a magic masala, and even ITC used magic masala. Yuppie noodles. So that is a particular case study which is focusing on trademark. On the basis of FEPO, you can go through with the slide, because by explaining it will take a lot of time. 2010 it happens. So on the basis of the above reason, the court dismissed the suit and held that neither party could claim the trademark or laudatory words such as a magic, magical, or a masala. So that is not a trademark, or that is not bound with the copyrights, those words. Trademark and infringement examples cases, that is Amul, the taste of India, the same way, and Paytm and PayPal. See, trademark, the color combination, only the font change, font color, font, what is that? Those are all things only in a minor changes. So you can, yes, it's not visible. Just a second. No, I shared. Now it's visible. Okay, I'll just give a glance about what I have done. Trademark. So by seeing the logo, we will come to know what is the trademark. See, here they have not mentioned, we know Mozilla Fires. Here they have not mentioned, we know what is it one. Here we know that this is a Shell Petrol Bank, this is McDonald's. So all such things. And famous case studies between ITC Limited and Nestle India Limited regarding Sunfeast Yuppie noodles and Maggi Masala Magic. So both were used a magic masala or Maggi masala and all such things. So that that particular case had on the court, and they have come up with one conclusion: the word which is a general words, you're not supposed to consider that is a come under any copyright or copyrights or trademark. Trademark, Paytm and PayPal. See the color combination. I think the recent case is Airtel and Vodafone. Both were used the same color. And very recent, in the lockdown case, or you remember? KSRTC, Karnataka State Road Transportation Corporation India, has taken over by Kerala Road Transport Corporation Corporation, Kerala Road Transportation Corporation. Actually, KSRTC, which is used by the Karnataka State Government Road Transportation Corporation, but they have been Kerala win the case, that is Kerala State Road Transportation Corporation. But now we call it as an SKRT, SRTC, State of Karnataka, so like that. So we are changing a lot of logos. So logos are a trademark. See, government organization also bound with such kind of a rules and regulation. IPR is not only meant for a private sector or MNCs or MSME, even government sector, government undertaking will also bound with that one. And next one, T series versus Guruji.com. Obviously, everybody know Gulshan Kumar, who made a dynamic changes in the music market, especially in the tape records or in a tele series or in the song or whichever it may be. So they have that as a famous case study. And in Delhi High Court, Kamlesh Kumar Jha, KK Software versus Microsoft. So that is a famous another case study pertaining to copyright cases. Next come for the pride movement and the pridest part of India. Geographical indication tag. What exactly mean by geographical indication tag? The geographical indication tag means the product or a services which is bound by the name of particular region is called it as a geographical indication tag. So this act was passed in 1999 and it came into force in 2003. So what are all the things which will come under the geographical indication tag? Agriculture goods, natural goods, handicraft. Of course, India is a diverse country. India is an n number of culture and we have an enormous heritage and we have a lot of legacy, and how to portray our legacy in the global market, how we can commercialize our few of our legacy in the global market, so it will enhance our economic development. So I feel that geographical indication tag act is in a best act of India, because the people will come to know what we are. The geographical indication tag, this is only a glimpse I am giving that as per 2017 also 2020 also, Karnataka has highest geographical indication tag. We have to be very proud being a Karnataka. We have 42 geographical indication tag as per 2021. Recently, Gulbarga Turdal has get into for the geographical indication tag. In Karnataka, Mysore is one district who got more than 17 to 18 geographical indication tag. Mysore silk, Mysore sandal soap, Mysore sandal oil, so many, Mysore jasmine, everything. So Mysore has n number of what is the geographical indication tag. And Chikmagalur, the 7 coffee which is produced or which is grown in the Chikmagalur, all the 7 coffee seeds will has a geographical indication tag. So you can take any district of Karnataka, at least they have 2 to 3 geographical indication tag. Take for example Bangalore district. We thought that Bangalore district we don't have any geographical indication tag, but recently in the 2021, I think in the December or October, Devnalli Taluk is there. In Devnalli Taluk there is a one village that is uh, Neelavara, I forgot, Nellur, sorry, Nellur village is there. In that village one tree is there. What is that? A tamarind tree. For that tamarind tree, geographical indication tag is there. So these are all the plant varieties or a geographical indication tag which is going to enhance the status of India in the global market. And obviously we can go with the commercialization. See, Uttar Pradesh, Patan, Patola, Lucknow, so many things are there. So if you go to Kashmir, they have a Kashmiri shawl, and Delhi. So each and every looks and corners of India, we are bound with the geographical indication tag. And some more examples of GI. So Multan Mitti, the face pack, the famous face pack used by people. So that is the geographical indication tag, the mixture, the content what we have. We are coming for the last, we have only a couple of slides are there. Traditional knowledge. Can I have a question to you that who told us that turmeric has a medicinal value? Can anybody will unmute and tell who told us, or you can question yourself. Who told us turmeric has a medicinal value? Who told us neem has a medicinal antiseptic value? Who told that? My mother told me. For her, my grandma told. So generation, the generational transferring, the knowledge which is transferred from generation to generation is called it as a traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge. We know that what is that? Turmeric has a what is that? Medicinal value. If we get a wound, if we come with any kind of scratches or what, the first thing what we'll do, we'll take turmeric and we'll put on the wound. After 2 days, it will gone. See, that is a traditional knowledge. Whether we have to protect our traditional knowledge, that is the question. Initially, we thought that no, don't need to protect our traditional knowledge. Why? Because it is a well-being for the society. will traditional knowledge can said be as in a knowledge of practice and the skills which have been developed and that which passed from generation to generation. As I told you, generation to generation, the skills. For example, Channapatna toys. What is that? Ilkal sari. So those are all traditional knowledge from the forefathers. The skills, the knowledge, the information is keep on passing from generation to generation. BV Pandit, what is that? Nanjangudu Hallpudi. So that is a traditional knowledge. Now the for the demand for BV Pandit's Nanjangud Halpudi is it's very high because of this corona pandemic and all. People are focused on Ayurvedic. I feel that nobody has drank so much of kashayas and all such thing in these years. But last 1 year, the demand for Ayurvedic product is gone high. Traditional knowledge. So without having anything, how our ancestors used to protect their body, their health. So traditional knowledge is another aspect. Neem case, you have to go with the neem case. So we know that neem has a lot of medicinal value. Neem has a bit sour and all content. But we know every people who he told that neem has a patent on old ending property of turmeric, as I said now only. Of course, we know that turmeric has a lot of medicinal value, but in 1995, US patent was granted on the use of turmeric in wound healing. But thanks to the person who is seeing in the slide, Dr. R.A. Mashlekar, an Indian scientist, he challenged the patent which is given by the US for turmeric, and he is the first person who make Indians or who make a lot of changes in the bureaucratic regarding intellectual property rights. See, don't you feel that we are lagging with the knowledge? We are lagging with the tech commercializing the knowledge. Everybody in the particular seminar know what is the use of turmeric and what is the importance of turmeric, but we are not aware. See, in 1995 the people got a patent. Recent one I will tell, not recent one, right? Recent one, ashwagandha leha or ashwagandha. So I think German people went for patent, but we thought Indians told that no, from forefathers we are using ashwagandha for different content for the different circumstances. No, we will not give any kind of patent. World Intellectual Property Organization told directly. So if you are talking, if you are claiming any patent or any intellectual property rights on traditional knowledge system or traditional knowledge, first you have to go with the traditional knowledge digital library that is set up by the Indian government and which is what is that bound and which is under the World Intellectual Property Organization. So anything which is originated from India, it will not claim or it will not give a LPR status to any other country. So we have a bunches of traditional knowledge system. The case studies, patent issue, jamun, brinjal and karela. Every time or every day, or we know the importance of these products, right? These agricultural products. We know karela, we know jamun, brinjal. See, those all three are best for controlling the diabetics. ನೇರಳೆ ಹಣ್ಣು ತಿನ್ನಿ ಶುಗರ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಕರೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಗಲಕಾಯಿ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ವಿಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ as ಕಹಿ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಬದುಕಕ್ ಸಿಹಿ ಅಂತಾರೆ. So all such things what have a medicine, which and all medicinal plants and which are all having a medicinal values is treated as a wealth of India. So list of bad patents. Yesterday I was discussing with Selvan. He told that, ma'am, really for turmeric US patent is there and all such things. See, I told that tomorrow I will show which are all the bad patents submitted to the TRIPS by so-called developed countries. See, turmeric, brinjal, karela, jamun, and pepper, amla, basmati. There is a one beautiful story behind basmati rice. In the year, I think 1997, one techie came to Rajasthan and other parts of borders of India, nearby Rajasthan only. He thought that basmati, and he what is that? He felt that it is very nice basmati flavored rice and all such thing. Why can't we grow in America? What he thought means he took the seeds of basmati rice and he took a land in Texas. He started growing basmati, but he named as a Texmati. You can Google it. Texmati is a famous case study. Basmati and Texmati. He named as a Texmati, and he told in the description he has written that it is a flavored rice. So so many what are for a patent. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what is the traditional knowledge digital library? As I told you, if you want to protect your valuable traditional knowledge of the country, if you want to make it a documentation, so you can take the help of traditional knowledge digital library so that you can avoid the biopiracy. Biopiracy means, as I told you, the cases of brinjal, cases of turmeric, neem. So all such things, because once other developed countries has raised the patent pertaining to the turmeric, neem, and ashwagandha and all such things, later Indian government has realized that something we have to do pertaining to our traditional knowledge. They set up a traditional knowledge digital library, which is approved by the World Intellectual Property Rights also. If anything which is related to biopiracy content or anything which is related to traditional knowledge system, first they have to inquire with India. Later they have to move. So of course, the rules, the regulations of India pertaining to intellectual property rights, of course, it is in the premature, no doubt about it. But we have to enhance initiatives of the last slide. What are all the initiatives? You may ask that we are talking about so many things about innovation and intellectual property rights. Really, government is bothering about the intellectual property rights. Of course, government has bound with a lot of statutory act with respect to each type of intellectual property right, and national what is that, police academy, which is focusing on customs, copyright laws and all such thing, and Department of Education, Ministry of Human Resource Development has initiated with lot of IP awareness program. I think the recent initiative Atal Innovation Mission and Atal Tinkering Mission. If you talk about Atal Innovation Mission from Atal Tinkering Mission, a number of I think a few constructive numbers of IP is raised, and Government of India has 21 point, sorry, do 7 tinkering machine lab are there, and government of India came up with a lot of industrial corridor. They are going to analyze a particular district, and they will come up with a lot of innovative steps. And one of the booming and one of the I can say that the hit thing for India is digital India movement. That's why Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, he told that how India has formed the UPI system, same way America should also practice. America should also take that particular strategy. How successful India while reaching the digital payment mode, even though a tender coconut wala will know how to use the digital payment wallet, not only for IIT, IIMs, or any so-called educated, so-called academicians or graduate holders, not only aware of that digital payment, even though a tender coconut wala, a samosa seller, know how to use the digital payment. That is the advantages of digital India. That is the result of digital payment. And a specialized cell for copyright enforcement so far has been sent to 23 states, and the special awareness program. Hope you also aware. If you're not aware, kindly learn the things. That is a central government of India and state government, both the government pertaining to MSME. They are going to give a awareness program for students as well as academician as well as MSME pertaining to intellectual property rights. And if you are a startup company, you can claim 2 lakhs as a subsidiary. Once if any company goes for intellectual property rights, if any company goes or acquire the intellectual property rights status, so government is giving lot of monetary subsidiaries. So that is the initiative of government of India. Of course, the present 27.1 lakh crore package of Atmanirbhar Bharat focus on innovation and enhancing the intellectual property rights, because we have to be a self-reliant. It is only a mantra for the sustainable development for the future India. So this particular ends my talk. I think I have taken 1.5 hours, but my time bound is only 1 hour. But if you want to talk about the innovation and intellectual property, still I feel that I have reached only in a 1% to make you understand what is intellectual property, right? So that's why again I will end my session by quoting Swami Vivekananda only. Once more, the world must be conquered by India. We know that what is our potential. We have a tremendous traditional knowledges we have, and we have a solid brains, young brains are there in India. But we should have a commitment in our life that we have to make our India we have to take our India for the next level and Vishwaguru. So that's why once more, the world must be conquered by India. This is the dream of my life, and I wish that each one of you and us who hear me today will have the same dream in your mind, and stop not till you have realized the dream. Of course, I have a dream that within a 2 or 3 years, India definitely will reach the 5 trillion economy. India will reach the very good double number GDP, because see, if you think that why conquerors, invaders came into India for the business. When Britishers came to India, what is our GDP? If it is double, more than 12 or 15%. If we go back to Krishna Devaraya time, what is our GDP? 25% of GDP. But now, still, if we reach the 6%, that is the achievement. So that's why we have to bring back the glory and the legacy of India, not only with our heritage, with our trade mindset too. So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to share my knowledge pertaining to innovation and intellectual property rights. And I thank respective committee members, IQAC coordinator, Dr. Mahananda ma'am, Kopat sir, Dr. Arun Kumar, principal sir, and whole KLE Parivar for giving me opportunity to share my knowledge. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, so you can ask.
The session is open for question and answers. Participants, if you have any queries, post your questions in the chat box.
Any queries? Queries or clarification or a discussion? Because together we have to plan how to make in India's proud holistic development. Because developing only in the one sector, it is not leads to an economic sustainability, or we will not consider that is a growth and development altogether.
Ma'am, can you explain also the difference between copyrights and trademarks?
See, copyrights means the work what you have done, written format, that is called it as a copyright. Whereas a trademark, what are all the logo, how people should identify my product. You are going to give some kind of a symbols for your product. Whereas a copyright, what you have written, for example, Penguin Books. They are related to book publishing. Sapna Book House, they are related to books publishing house, but they have logo. That particular logo will be treated as a trademark, and the publication what they have done, the textbook what they have printed, that will lead to any copyrights. Hope I have answered for your question. As a young minds try to focus on innovation. If any students who are not only from science background, who are from commerce background, so don't deny the IPR, because we feel that intellectual property only for innovation. No, for commerce and management student, even for art student, there is an ample opportunity is there. We have to strike these things better than other invention, because the innovation process is in our hand. Yes, Srinidhi, you have raised your hand.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Madam, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay. Madam, there is a saying called every science took birth in India but developed elsewhere. So by considering this statement, what steps we need to take as citizens in general and academia, especially the student and teacher in particular, what steps we need to take to equip ourselves in developing and working on IPR? Because you spoke about different initiatives under the various ministries like Atmanirbhar Bharat and Ministry of, but to be specific, from students' perspective or from students' teachers' end, how we need to be equipped in this regard? This is my question, madam. Any personal suggestions or any strategies, or in what way we need to be worked?
Yeah, nice question actually. The thing is, of course, this question is also there in my mind, how we can take up the thing, because every invention, the mother of Bharata or India is the mother of all the invention you can take. Of course, we are lagging behind the documentation. That is my answer. We are not documenting properly what we have done. Either we have not reached a single step also, that also we have to document. Because see, for example, turmeric. So we treated turmeric as a light product. See the patent. So you can go with the website. The crores together are spent on taking the patent for turmeric. We have to document the particular innovation or invention in the proper way. It will have traditional digital library will help you a lot. For the academician, for the students, I will say that you have to go with the publications, relevant publications. what and all your idea is there, what and all the thoughts you will come across on the particular research on the topic, you have to publish that one. See, if because this is also organized by the research center, we have a n number of research platforms there. For example, academia.u, vidwan.com is there, and of course Google is there. So you can open a account on you, just like a Facebook or other account. You can post what you have written or what you have done the research. You can post it on that particular platform, so whole world will come to know what you have done. Of course, obviously, if you go for the plagiarism check, it will take a bit and bit, every looks and corners it will check, so that in that way you can protect. Documentation is the only or I'll not say only, documentation is the main catalyst or a main tool to protect our intellectual property rights, because once we have a documentation, we can easily claim that is ours. See, turmeric we have not have documented. Of course, in our scriptures is there. Who is going to read that scriptures? In India, true Indians are who? Patriotism. We have to question everything if you talk about the intellectual property rights. So, of course, India is a mother of all the invention, but it is developed in the Western. But Westerners thinks that commercialization. Of course, few things we need to be have inculcate the mindset of commercialization. How we can commercialize. For example, paintings. See, you can compare with the paintings of foreign countries and Raja Ravi Verma paintings. They will make that commercialization, but we will not do the commercialization. Texture, Mysore silk saree. Can you compare with the Mysore silk saree and other product? Take an example, Van Hussein or some other product, Peter England and all. No. Here you have all the authenticity, or authoritatively you can tell that real silver and the gold is going to use Mysore sandal oil. So documentation is very, very important. At the same time, I feel that the political intervention is there, because they are the lawmakers. They have to focus. That's why I told you, from Gram Panchayati president to till the topmost person in the political field, they have to aware of such kind of things. Hope my answer is convinced.
Yes, madam, absolutely. I think your recommendation to my question is, one is, as an academician, we have to get involved in research activities. This is first thing. And to preserve traditional knowledge, we have to document all the things what we have right now.
Not only traditional knowledge, but also what we, as an academician, as a student, our research paper also. If you are done research effectively by qualitative, by quantitative data or something else, that also, because the suggestion what you will give, that should be structuralized, that should be notable, that should be noted in one side.
Okay, madam. Okay. Thank you so much, madam. I had a nice discussion with all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope this ends the question and answer session. The time is 2:10. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think this kind of an initiative by every colleges, because intellectual property rights in business law, we have one chapter that is to patent only. We'll study and we'll write it in the exam for 14 marks, we'll solve. That's it. But beyond that, something is there. If you go to the corporate level also, IPR will matters a lot for you. So thank you so much for all the KLE Parivars for organizing the event. Once again, my humble thanks to all.
All my colleagues and their students for today's program.
And I extend my thanks to Selvan because he coordinated me a lot, and I feel that he has that research mindset. Okay, can I move? Namaste, ma'am.
Thank you, Sowmya madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's always me a pleasure. Hope you remember me.
Thank you so much. And please continue to support like this.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely.
And I wish you success in your PhD work as early as possible. Try to get doctorate in today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I call you as Dr. Soumya.
Yes.
Very nice.